All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back once again. I am Nicodemus Kane. This is January the 26th of 2022. Today I'm going to read Psalm 97. You can follow along if you want to. I'll give you a second to pull up any kind of copy you want. Uh, Sorry, I had a hair come down in my eye. I had to pull that out. Hopefully, I don't have a. Hopefully, I don't have a coughing fit. We I messed my throat up last night laughing. We uh, we were joking while we were in bed last night before we actually went to sleep, and I had one that was funny enough that I just laughed and just laughed and laughed, and it has been a while since I've laughed that hard. So my throat is kind of messed up today. It kind of it kind of hurt my lungs a little bit too, but it's mostly in my throat. I probably for a good minute, good sustained minute, I just laugh, and it's been a long time since I've had that kind of laugh, which is good. Good laughing, and being able to laugh with somebody you love definitely is an amazing thing. And when you can just let yourself loose and just enjoy each other and enjoy just the experience of laughing as much as you can, it's good stuff. But I'm paying for it today because I don't really talk that much. The only time I ever talk is whenever I talk to you people. Um, I don't mean that in a bad way, by the way. The way I said it sounded bad. So, anytime I go past how much I usually talk, I usually feel it the next day. So, anyways, we're gonna do Psalm 97. As long as my throat doesn't close up. Psalm 97. The Lord reigneth. Let the earth rejoice. Let the multitude of isles be glad thereof. Clouds and darkness are round about him. Righteousness and judgment are the habitation of his throne. A fire goeth before him, and burneth up his enemies round about. His lightnings enlighten the world. The earth saw and trembled. The hills melted like wax at the presence of the Lord, at the presence of the Lord of the whole earth. The heavens declare his righteousness, and all the people see his glory. Confounded be all they that serve graven images, that boast themselves of idols. Worship him, all ye gods. Zion heard and was glad, and the daughters of Judah rejoiced because of thy judgments, O Lord. For thou, Lord, art high above all the earth. Thou art exalted far above all gods. Ye that love the Lord hate evil. He preserveth the souls of the saints. He delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked. Light is sown for the righteous, and gladness for the upright in heart. Rejoice in the Lord. Rejoice in the Lord, ye righteous, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness. All right, I'm going to take a drink of water because I said that it was going to start happening, and then we will come back and we will go back through that. And I said it was going to happen. I said it might happen, that my throat would close up, and it did. Usually right towards the end or in the middle. I usually have to clear my throat. But yeah, I don't get to talk nearly as much as I used to since I don't have to go into go into work. This is the only time I really get to talk. This and, when I get off work, I get to talk with my wife, and that's it. It seems like I used to talk to people a lot more. But that's what you get whenever you have a tyrannical dictatorship that says that you cannot be around other people. Just, what are you going to do about it? All right, anyways. Let's start back at the top. The Lord reigneth, let the earth rejoice, let the multitude of isles be glad thereof. Clouds and darkness are round about him, righteousness and judgment are the habitation of his throne. Which is something that they've been talking about the past several Psalms, is that he will rule and he will sit on a throne, or he sits in judgment and righteousness. A fire goeth before him, and burneth up his enemies round about. His lightnings enlighten the world. The earth saw and trembled. And of course, that's somebody could say, well, look, right there, it's an allusion to Zeus and his lightnings. Yeah, sure. Where do you think they got it from? They stole it from the Psalms. These were supposedly written before the Greek Empire. So how do you explain that? But then again, we don't know about history. We don't know what's true and what's not true. But no, just because God, just because the Father throws lightning around doesn't mean that he's Zeus. It means that he is in control of everything. Satan felt like lightning. It's probably because God put a lightning bolt up his ass and threw him down. When he threw him down. Just saying. The hills melted like wax at the presence of the Lord. At the presence of the Lord of the whole earth. Which is interesting. Whenever you get into the old earth, Tartaria, mud floods, I don't know what they're calling it now, with the melted buildings, but there seems to be not so much the buildings that look like they were carved into mountains, but buildings that look like they were made out of stone, made out of rock in some way, shape, or form. And it looks like the rock around it melted down on top of the building. Just the craziest thing. I mean, it looks like liquefied rock. And that's not magma. That's not lava. That's something else going on there. And this is not the first time that you hear, something like the hills melted like wax. There's something else going on there. So I think the Bible understands that there were buildings in the world that were able to melt due to such high heat, and especially if you're talking about rock, you have to really, really heat up rock in order for it to melt. So if these buildings are melting, something's going on there. I'm not saying that's exactly what it is, but again, when you read the Bible and you read other books and they tend to line up with things going on out in the world, you gotta kind of sit up and take notice. The heavens declare his righteousness, and all the people see his glory. Every day you see his glory. It goes back to, there's a reference back to Psalm 19, which is the one that Werner von Braun had on his tombstone. Psalm 19 was, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. I think it's literally word for word. The heavens declare his righteousness, and all the people see his glory. Confounded be all they that serve graven images, that boast themselves of idols. Worship him, all ye gods. Confounded, confused be all they that serve graven images. They are lied to. They are confused. They don't know any better. It's not really a confusion. It's confounded. Confounded has more of a you are falling for something type of meaning to it. Someone has confounded you. Someone has confused you, which means that you're still trying to figure it out. Someone has confounded you means that somebody has lied to you and you're just kind of going along with it. It's same word, just a tiny different meaning. But those they have been lied to. I could probably look it up in Strong's too if you want me to. God, why don't I just do that? Because we're here, we do this stuff. Why not? Psalm 90. What am I? 97. And it's very easy to look up Strong's. All you have to do is put in the. I put in a whole chapter so that I could see it. Did they change? Oh no, I'm in the wrong one. There it is. I usually pick the godrules.net Strong's because it has the numbers after the words. Okay, 7. Confounded. A properly to pale by implication to be ashamed, to be disappointed or delayed. Shamed, to be shamed, to be ashamed, to be disappointed, to feel shame. They are confounded. They are shamed. They are shamed. Shamed are all they that serve graven images. To put to shame, to act shamefully. What's the other one? Oh, it's just a... Here, it's just the verb. What's the whole word? Well, the word confounded is boosh. It's spelled different than it says, but you pronounce it boosh. That's good stuff. Okay. Anyways, the only time I've ever heard the word boosh is the old Cartoon Network, The Mighty Boosh. Is that what the name of that? Yeah, that show. So, confounded be all those that concern. Shamed be all those that serve graven images. In our tongue, though, confounded means that you have been almost corrupted, that you have been lied to. But they mean shamed. Shamed be all they. Shamed because you've been lied to. Think about that. People don't like their shame. They don't like living in their shame. They would like to think that they have it all figured out. Therefore, because they choose not to live in their shame, because they choose not to accept the truth, they will believe in the lie and they will live in the lie. And it all goes back to God will send them strong delusion because they choose to believe in the lie rather than hear the truth, or rather than live in righteousness. And that's the core root of everything. Is nobody likes to admit they're wrong. Is everybody likes to think that they have everything going for them, and that's their pride. That's their pride kicking them in the butt. Their pride says that their pride says that they have everything figured out and they don't have to worry about anything else. And anything that tries to take away from that can only hurt them. And there's so many people nowadays that just want to push that people should be proud of everything they do. And it's like, no, I'm not proud of everything I do. I just do stuff because I do it. I can feel accomplished when I get done with something, you know, but you should not feel pride for doing nothing. I should not feel pride just for sitting here in my chair, um, making a video. I do this because I'm hoping that I can get a hold of somebody, maybe either change their mind or give somebody else the ability to give somebody else the words so that they can open their eyes. There is no pride in this. I'm not doing this to boast of myself. I am a nobody down here in a basement with a laptop just trying to get people to listen. And it actually hurts me more whenever I can't get people to listen. But it is what it is. Pride is whenever for whatever stupid reason, actually it's not really a stupid reason anymore because I look to see, who is engaging. For a while there, I was looking for a long time on my YouTube companion app that tells me, how many people watch, how many people will comment and all that stuff. And my pride was that I would see the numbers keep going up. And I was getting very proud. I was like, oh, look what I did. Ha 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 ha, But I have learned that as the more that I tell the truth, the more that I preach this word, especially preaching this word, because no, not many people just want to hear you reading the Psalms. But the more I've done it like this, the less people want to come around. They want the catchwords, they want the buzzwords. That's why I don't put the buzzwords in the titles. Is because I don't want them coming specifically for what I was talking about afterwards. We've had several of them where I've read the Psalm and then something else has come up. I started talking about something else, and it's like, I could write Psalm, 20 something and, talking about giants or talking about whatever, you know what it is. But I would be proud because people would be coming to the video just to see what I was talking about with the giants. And then the psalm would be an afterthought. I don't want that. I don't want that at all. I want people to hear these. Hopefully hear these and understand that we're not the only ones going through this stuff. There's healing and there's understanding in Psalms. So I'm just trying to throw this out there. That almost sounds like I'm boasting within itself, and I apologize if I am. I'm really trying not to. But then again, every time you talk about yourself, it sounds like boasting. It does. It sounds like every time you talk about yourself, it sounds like boasting. It's like it's really hard to. It's especially hard whenever you try to talk about life experiences to someone, where you're not trying to sound like you're just saying, oh, I went through this. I did that. That's something that I did. Because it comes out like vanity. So I think a lot of whenever the Bible tells you, just preach the word. Preach what God tells you. Don't worry about yourself. I think that's part of it. I think that's really part of it. I don't know. But confounded be all those that serve graven images, that boast themselves of idols. They just love to show everybody that they love to show everybody that they worship certain idols. Parade them right down the streets. Worship him, all ye gods. All those fake gods that the people love and the people worship understand that there is one God above all that created you. You should worship him. Period. I'm having thoughts of how I could tie that into what's happening today, and I don't want to go any further into that than I want to. I don't, you know, I am not doing current events right now because it just seems like the world is just getting crazier and crazier. I think we need to focus less on that and focus more on keeping ourselves together. Verse 8 Zion heard and was glad, and the daughters of Judah rejoiced because of thy judgments, O Lord. For thou, Lord, art high above all the earth. Thou art exalted far above all gods. Ye that love the Lord hate evil. And it is okay to hate. There is a time to love and there's a time to hate. You can hate evil. But you're not supposed to hate anybody. You can hate evil. But it says love everybody equally. You're supposed to hate evil. Also, the Bible never says love everybody equally. It says to love everyone. It never says equally. You throw equally in there, and then people can use that against you, saying, well, if you love this person this much, you can love this person this much. I don't care how evil this person is, you have to love that person that much. And that's whenever you start sliding into this whole concept and idea of everybody is inherently good. And I still say, not everybody is inherently good. That's even babies steal. Some people don't like that. I've said that before, and people are like, "Oh God, could you say that? That people, innocent little babies, they're so good and so sweet and so kind, and how could they ever do that?" And blah, blah, blah. It's like babies don't know any better when they're born. They have to be taught to be good. It's an inherent evil to just take and steal. I know when you pull it down to that kind of minimalistic idea. No, they take and take and take without respect to what it is, to whose it is. And you have to show them that through love, you cannot just go around taking everything for yourself. That you have to have a standard. You have to be, you have to be nice. You have to ask for something. You have to show love to get love. And I'm not saying babies are inherently evil. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that people are not inherently good. It's that you're not gonna. That somebody can convince you. Somebody can convince you that everything they do is very philanthropic, and it's for the good of the people. Somebody can convince you up one side and down the other. Oh, we're doing this for the good of the people, and everything we do is good, and it's okay. All you have to do is just trust us. We got it. They can say that all they want, but that doesn't mean they're doing it. People lie. People lie. People are greedy. Greed is the worst thing in the world. Greed is evil. You want to try to be better than that. You want to try to give as much, if not more, than you receive. And greed will kill everything if you let it. So I don't really know exactly where I wanted to go with this, but I definitely want to get the message out that people are not inherently good. And again, if you know somebody is good, if you can see that they're a good person and all that, that doesn't mean that you can't trust them ever again. I do not. I am not going to come on here and tell everybody, oh, you can't trust anybody anymore. No, I'm not saying that at all. You judge a person by their fruits. Um, but you have to get over the concept that everyone you meet, every stranger you find on the street, every person that gets on a television and tells you how good they are, how philanthropic they are, how much they do, how much good they do for the world. Everyone that gets on there and tells you that, you cannot immediately assume that they're doing it just for your benefit. That's a problem with a lot of people. Because a lot of people will look at somebody that's saying all this stuff, and just because they're famous or just because they have a lot of money or just because whatever, they will immediately assume, oh, well, he's on our side. He's good. No, no. No, you don't know that. You have to see what comes out of it. And sadly, 9 times out of 10, whenever you look into the background of these millionaires and billionaires and politicians and all these other kinds of people, when you see where they've come from, what their true agendas are, you start to understand that these people weren't helping us out at all. They were helping themselves out. But because you decided that you thought that they were inherently good and they were going to do something good for the people, that you just went along with it. And now you're trapped in a prison just like everybody else. So, no, this is what I mean. This is what I mean whenever I talk about this kind of stuff. You can't trust everybody anymore. You just can't do it. You have to be cautious about who you give your trust to. Don't trust me. Don't trust a word I say. Find it for yourself. Find it for yourself. Go out, open your eyes for yourself. Do the work for yourself. Find the truth. Don't find it from me. All I'm trying to do is just help plant the seeds. That's it. Everything else after that is just rambling. That's all I do is ramble because it's my thoughts. It's my thought processes. This is my videos. This is my channel. This is just stuff I think. If what I do happens to line up with what you think, hey, that's great. Cool, that's awesome. But don't take my word for it. I don't want you to trust me because I could be just that bad too. This is a spiritual war. This is a spiritual war. I could be deceived and be, and being led by demons myself. Lord willing. Father, please give me the power to be able to push the demons out of my house. So, ye that love the Lord hate evil. That's what it comes back to. It is okay to hate. I'm not telling you to go out there and hate everybody. But when the time comes that you really don't like something that's going on in the world, when you hear about, X person decided to kill, such and such little girl or something, and just did the most despicable, horrible things about it. It's okay to feel that hate. It's okay to feel that. You can't hold on to it forever. Don't hold on to it forever. You get on your hands and knees and you pray to God that you know that victim will wind up in a place that she needs to, and sadly the Bible also says that we need to pray where the person doing the crime, pray that they get their just desserts. And at the same time, the Bible also says we'll be dancing and singing whenever that time comes. So, don't feel bad about being angry. That's something I've seen too. Is people will feel bad for being angry. Don't feel bad for being angry at something. You're angry. Get angry. Get mad. Get mad at this. It's frustrating. It is absolutely frustrating to sit and to watch all of this happening. When that frustration comes, when that anger comes, when that hate comes, pray to God. Ask Him to give you some kind of either understanding, or ask Him what you should do about it. Father, I feel hate and anger in my heart right now. What do I do? Where do I go? Do I act upon this, or do I just wait patiently? But it's okay to feel that. It's not bad to feel that. It's not bad to be angry about what's happening. So, I don't it's not all rainbows and butterflies. It's not all rainbows and butterflies anymore. You can have those feelings. Some people will believe that they have to have love constantly in their heart so much to the point that it will hurt them. And I don't believe that at all. I think that will cause you more trouble. Those people that think that you are supposed to keep nothing but unconditional love 24/7, 365, those are the ones that are going to get trampled on. And if that's where the Father takes them, that's where the Father takes them. And if that's for them, then that is for them. But I don't see any evidence where we're just supposed to take it unless it's ordained by God, because we have been unrighteous. Does that make any sense? That makes sense. Makes sense to me. I don't know if it makes sense to everybody else. Again, I could be talking out of my ass. I don't know. I don't like seeing people suckered into this idea that just because you believe in God, just because you believe in Christ, that you have to submit yourself to the rule of evil, the rule of evil men that want nothing to do but harm you. That just blows my mind. It's just one of those things that blows my mind, that I've heard so many different people, and I have people in my life that say, just submit, just go along to get along for now, because that's what you're supposed to do. That's not what you're supposed to do. There's nothing in the Bible, New or Old Testament, that says that you're just supposed to go along to get along, especially in the New Testament. If we were just supposed to go along to get along, then why in the world was Christ and every one of his disciples killed for not following the rules? That's a sticky point. That's a sticky point that people don't seem to understand. And a lot of people may be listening to this and thinking, oh, it's just somebody trying to tell us to be rebellious. I'm not trying to tell you to be rebellious. I'm not trying to put a rebellious spirit in you. But you definitely should not be selling yourself out to evil. You know, there's nothing in the Bible that says that you follow Christ's words until evil men come along and then you're supposed to do the evil that they tell you to do. It was, what was it? Whenever Daniel and his three buddies, Meshach, Abednego, and what was the other guy's name? When they were brought into Babylon, did they immediately take the food that the king of Babylon told them to eat? They said, "No, we will not eat your food." They said, "Here, we'll prove that we are of God, and we'll tell you about your dreams and all that. And if we do that, then we don't have to eat your food." They didn't eat the food. Whenever they were told not to, that they could only pray to, the god of Babylon, the statue, whatever it was, and then they found Daniel sitting there praying. They brought him in, threw him to the lions. Was he listening? Was he selling himself out? Was anytime they ever talk about imprisoning Peter or Paul or anybody else, were they listening to the Romans and just following orders? If you're just following orders, you don't have to worry about anything because your life is going to be just fine. If you're following the words of God, if you are following the words of the Bible, you're going to be persecuted constantly because you're not going to go along to get along. From the very beginning of the book to the very end of the book, you are to go against the workers of iniquity, the evil of this world. You can't be going against the evils of this world if you're constantly selling yourself out to the evils of this world. And this is one of the biggest things I have said since the very beginning. The evils of this world are corrupt and they lie. And they will tell you any lie that you need to hear in order for them to show you that they are inherently good and you cannot believe it. And that you must resist what they say. If you go along with it, then you're just selling yourself out to it. Then you never really had the spirit inside you anyways. How many times have we gone through the whole Christmas thing? And it says, "Do not worship me the way that they worship their gods." But you go along with it just to get along. Everybody does it. Don't worry about it. Bible clearly says not to. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Selling yourself out. You're going to keep selling yourself out. Keep selling yourself out to the lie because you choose to live in your unrighteousness. And people don't like hearing that, but I don't care anymore. I'm not here to give you soft words that will tickle your ears. That's not what I'm here for. I'm not here to brag about it. If it sounds like I'm bragging about it, then I'm sorry, and I will change the way that I preach. But man, it blows my mind, and there's nothing in the Bible that says that you're supposed to just automatically sell yourself out to this world. Nothing. There's a lot of people that will say, "Oh, that leads to a rebellious spirit." Yeah, rebellious against who? Are we rebellious against God? Or are we rebellious against Satan? Because the Bible tells me we're supposed to be rebellious against the evils of this world. We're supposed to go against, that's rebellion, against the evils of this world. Do not submit to the evils of this world. Stay strong in the Lord. God is your rock. God is your spirit. God is your faith. You put on armor for defense. You carry a sword. You carry a sword of the Spirit. A sword is an offensive weapon. It's not, you're not always on the back foot, even though it feels like we're on the back foot because a lot of people have sold themselves out. Because somewhere along the line, somebody came into the church, I'm going to say around the 4th century. Um, Somebody came into the church and they told the church, you're supposed to sell yourself out. Because there's one line in the Bible, one line, even though we are supposed to be proven by 2 or 3 witnesses, and just about every single bit of decent doctrine that's inside of the Bible has 2 or 3 different places where it says, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. But because somebody took one line out of a letter to a very specific people that were getting killed because they were being rebellious, and because Paul said that no, I can't have my entire church getting killed like this because of one line where it says, just submit yourself to your rulers for now. That the entire doctrine started coming into the church where it says that you're supposed to submit yourselves to the evil of this world. And people started believing it. And you're here. This is where you are. And this leads to other stuff. It leads to evil men taking over your children. It leads to evil men teaching your children bad things. It leads to evil men corrupting not only what you know of your history, of your life, of everything else, but your children. And your children. It also leads to the corruption of your faith. You chose not to rebel against the evils of this world. Therefore, you have been swallowed by the evils of this world. You chose not to put these things out, and here you are. You chose not to go into the mountains and burn down the groves like God told you to. You chose not to go out and break down their idols like God told you to, and here you are. You chose not to step up and do what you were supposed to do, and here we are. That's what I'm talking about right there, from top to bottom. And I don't have the answers on how to get out. Again, that's going to be on each individual person, that they're going to have to pray to the Father to figure out what they are supposed to do. But I know what's going to come for me. I know what's going to come for me. I know what's going to happen for me. I've prayed for it, and I've prayed for it, and God has showed me several times over, is that when it comes down to whether it's going to be me or my family, then whether it's going to be me or my family and whether I'm going to have to submit or not, then I am going to pick up my sword. I'm going to die by my sword. And whatever happens to me after that, happens to me after that. Because I will not sell myself out to the evils of this world. That path leads to destruction upon this world. And if you think that that's the way you need to go, that's fine. That's great. You know? I'm going to get persecuted for what I said. And that's fine. That's great. You know, that's what it says we're supposed to happen. There's supposed to be, thousands of the saints that died during the tribulation. That's at the end of, at the end of days. I get that. That's what you're going to find out. That's what you're going to see. But you can't be persecuted if you're just going along to get along. You can't be persecuted if, when the time comes, you don't stand up for your own faith. You can't. I have been more persecuted by stepping away from this world than I ever have by just preaching the word. You you want to get persecuted. You want to see how many people come after you uh, for for holding on to your beliefs. Stop celebrating Christmas. They will get man. They will use every tactic in the book to come after you. Thankfully, I had some moderately understanding family that 3 years in, they're starting to realize, well, hey, maybe he's onto something. Um, and they let me have it too. But holy smokes, man, they just serious. You want to see it? Just stop celebrating pagan holidays and call them for what they are. Call them pagan holidays. Say it straight out. They'll. It's like this. It's like there's a presence, man. It's like there's some evil presence inside of people that just wants to come out and just be like, "Bah, bah, bah, bah." It's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. We don't have to do this. We don't have to live like that, man. And it's just about everybody too. Unless you really understand, man, it's just about everybody. And if you even remotely try to turn somebody else and their family gets involved, what are you, in a cult? What are you trying to are you trying to manipulate us into thinking your way? What is this? You're not following God the right way. This isn't the way that God wants it for you. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not learned enough to be able to do this. If you can't quote scripture directly, then you're not. Like, what? It's the last time the last time I looked is that, you know, we're supposed to follow what God wants for us to do. We're not supposed to just sell ourselves out to this world. If you think that's the way it's supposed to do, I'm not going to stop you. I'm really not. I will get upset, and I will rebuke you. I've rebuked people. I have said that is not the way we're supposed to live. If you're going to believe in the lie, then you might as well just sell yourself out to the rest of the lie. That's just the way it is. I've been quiet on a lot, but the current lie that we're living in right now, um, it's really gotten to me. It's gotten to me to the point that I'm like, you not only do you call yourself a Bible believing Christian, you call yourself a patriot, but you will turn around and bring a PCR test into my house, and you will have somebody use it at my dining room table while I'm sitting there. And then you will have that person freak out because they had a positive result on that test. And you're going to think that I'm not going to say something? Oh, brother. Oh, brother. Everything was fine and dandy in that house until they brought that crap in, and that person tested positive, and then it was like the world shattered. And I'm like, that didn't need to happen. That didn't need to happen, especially not in my house. But that didn't need to happen. Period. Everything was fine and dandy. And then I should have got on to him about probable cases. I should have stopped right there, and I said, "Now nobody talks a damn word about this, because I'm not going to be a part of your stupid probable case nonsense." Because we had We had 6 people in that house. We had 6 people in the house. And if one person tested positive, that makes 6 cases. And they will count that as 6 cases. And I said, I'm not going to be a statistic. That's ridiculous. That's what happened. That's the truth, and I'm not gonna try to. I'm gonna do my best not to say who anybody who did what or who did where. And, I just that was enough to make you mad, man. That was enough to that was enough to make you mad. That was enough to make you hate what's going on. And this gets right back to it. That whole concept comes back to this, that ye that love the Lord hate evil. Hate evil. Come on, people. Ye that love the Lord hate evil. He preserveth the souls of his saints. He delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked. He will deliver you from the hand of the wicked. Hate evil. Move away from evil. Step away from evil. Get away from evil. Hate it. Stay away from it. Don't get near it. Where does it say that not to even partake in anything evil, not to have anything to do with the rulers of unrighteousness? Somebody even said in here that it says that in the last days, people will be entertained by devils, which I think is, the most the most spot on verse I've ever heard in my life. And I know I found it once, I think. I may not have found it at all. I don't know. But somebody had said that it was in there that, they will be entertained by devils or something similar to that. I'm like, it makes you look back on all the music and all the movies and all the television and everything that, we still watch a lot of, sadly. I watch it for completely different reasons than I used to. I used to get entertainment out of it. Now I'm just constantly looking in the background, um, looking for numerology and stuff. You can kind of tell though. Some shows you can kind of tell, where you can separate the good from the evil, and you can understand what is trying to manipulate you, and you can understand, what's trying to be good entertainment. It's tricky slope, and you can fall down into a lot of bad places if you're not careful. So just watch out for that. But still, like I said, it is that it's that whole concept. Just move away from evil. Do not submit yourself. That's the whole thing. I just went on like a 20-30 minute rant. Just step away from it. The more you submit yourself, the worse it's going to be. That's just where it is, top to bottom. If you constantly submit yourself to the evils of this world, you're going to get what you deserve, because the evils of this world don't want you doing any better. But there are so many people now that are just so convinced, because somewhere along the line, a good Christian didn't stop and stand up and say, we shouldn't do this. Nope, they just believed the lie that they were supposed to go along to get along, because they liked Christmas. They liked Easter. They liked it. It was good stuff. We don't have to follow the law. Else, we could just do it this way. Monday through Saturday sinners, baby. Oh, yeah. And then Sunday, God will wash us clean and we can go right back out. Don't believe me. Go find out for yourself. Ye that love the Lord hate evil, he preserveth the souls of his saints. He delivereth them out of the hand of the wicked. Light is sown for the righteous, and gladness for the upright in heart. Rejoice in the Lord, ye righteous, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness. Amen. Thank you, Father, for taking this dreg of a human being, showing him something better, opening his eyes, and helping him find the truth in all things. Because I was just like everybody else, so wrapped up in this world that I couldn't see it. And then one day he decides nothing you know is real. nothing you understand is real. Here, let me show you just how much of a lie you've been living in. And since then, I've just seen worse and worse. And it's gotten to that point to where I just want people to see it. You know, I really do think that if people can see the lie, that it can be turned around. There will be a set amount of people, a very specific set amount of people that will see the lie right in front of their face, and they will not turn. They will not even open up their eyes. They won't even do it. But I think that a good majority of people, if they knew just how bad the lies were, how much they've been lied to, I think that they would just immediately turn. But that's a pipe dream for now. They're all going to see it eventually. The Bible says that everyone will see it. So it's keep trying. Keep trying. Don't fall into this trap of, oh, I don't have the will to be able to try to preach the truth to anyone anymore. They're on their own. Always try. Always try to find somebody else that needs to hear the truth. It's unbelievable. All right, I'm going to stop. I think we've had enough. I have either gone on the rant of the century, or I have buried myself past the point of no return. It's going to be one or the other. Don't ever listen to me. Don't believe a word I say. Go find out for yourself, man. Go find out the truth for yourself. Because I'm just a guy. I pray for the Father to give me the words every day. The words that I need to be able to talk to people, to whoever's listening to this, if there's anybody listening to this. But I pray every day that He will give me the words of Aaron and Moses, that I can somehow convince the people that, this isn't right. This isn't the right way. And all I can really say is just find it for yourself. Go find it for yourself. Believe in what you believe. But I personally think, for my own benefit, for my own judgment, for my own understanding, is that the more you look at it, the more you will, or the more that it will lead you back to the truth. You'll find it eventually. It'll lead you back eventually. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. God bless everyone. Take care. That's all I've got for now. So I shall see you all later, and we'll do it again. Take it easy.